This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
You're ready, baby, to start off hour number 3 of the program. And we always enjoy talking to the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, a proud sponsor of our program. And we love what they do for us in the community, keeping us safe and doing a terrific job overall. Officer April Lowe is kind enough to join us today on the show. Officer Lowe, how are you doing today? Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Very good, very good. I can see that I would lose an arm wrestling battle with you right now. By the way, as I can see, the CrossFit is definitely paying off,
Thank
Officer Lowe.
Yes, I've been CrossFitting for about 12 years now, so I hope so. I hope it looks like I've been doing it.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks like you've been doing it. Let me ask you, being a lady on the force,
Mhm.
and it's something that we don't think about as men, right? But women always have to kind of feel like they've got to prove themselves that they are the equal of the men in whatever genre that they're in, right? Because that's kind of the way, sadly, our society is, right? And we're I think a lot of us are getting to the point where we look at things equally, but unfortunately it's just not like that. So talk to us about that battle for you overall, because it's a challenge for so many women in so many walks of life.
Yeah, I mean, I came into this job later in life, so I think for me, just being a little bit older, a little wiser, dealing with certain aspects of that younger, it hasn't been as big of an issue for me. I think also because I'm really fit and I'm confident. I feel like I was embraced more than I definitely expected to. To be honest, being in the academy was a lot harder because I felt like the instructors were a little bit more, old school. So being a female was really tough, and I felt like I just had to be quiet. Couldn't have girl moments. Couldn't be emotional.
Oop,
I
froze up a little bit. There we go. There we go. It
couldn't
froze up a little bit.
didn't feel like I could show when I still work hard to try and not do, because you just don't want to have girl moments, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. No, I definitely understand that. So let me ask you, what motivated you? What was that watershed moment that April O said, I want to be an officer? What was that moment?
Well, my degree.
Because you said you got into it a little later, right? So it's not like you're a fresh face out of college or high school or something like that, and you're popping in and you're learning about the world. You were already a little bit more experienced. So I find it interesting that you came in a little later. So walk us through that watershed moment.
I think just looking at everything I had done, I was in my early 40s at the time. I had a degree in social work. I'd worked in the social work field. I was a high school and college volleyball coach. I was a CrossFit competitor. And it just felt like I knew I wanted to do something more impactful with my life. I wanted to help people. I didn't really want to go back to the social work field. I wanted something a little bit more physical. And law enforcement to me was CrossFit meets social work, plus having a volleyball background, a team background, like team sport background. Like I knew that I enjoyed working with others and being a part of a team and a group effort towards, whatever that goal was, working with other people to accomplish that goal. So it was a no-brainer. It was just like the perfect match.
How long have you been at it right now?
I've been solo since February, so not very long.
Okay. So let me ask you, so far, what is the most sad, since you wanted to make a difference, right? What is that moment so far for you that this is what I wanted to do? What was that moment so far?
There's been a lot of them. Just the moments where just random acts of kindness, like you're helping people that have been in a car accident and they're older and they can't get their dog into the tow truck. So little things like that, like not these huge, big moments where you're helping catch the bad guy, but just moments where people are having their worst day ever and you get an opportunity just to show them a little bit of kindness, or just be there for them while they cry because they've just found out, something really bad. I think that to me has been really satisfying. Finding a child that's been missing, or a woman with dementia that's been missing, those kinds of moments feel like really good. Like, make some of the tougher moments definitely worth it.
Officer Lowe, this might be a little bit of an unfair question to ask you, but maybe you've heard from other officers around you. Because one of the things that I think is really important for all of us to fight what's going on, and I'm talking about the mistreatment, the crime, whatever it is, that the actions that aren't right that happen in front of us.
Mhm.
I think you all aren't going to catch everybody.
Right.
And I think we have to do our part as a society. And whether it's phone calls, whether it's texts, whatever, but we've got to do our best in society to help the police do their job, because it's got to be a team effort. We're never going to have enough cops on the street to stop all the crime that's going on. But we do have all kinds of eyes everywhere. So I'm wondering, because I kind of get the feeling, but again, you may not know because you haven't been on the force a long time, but I kind of get the feeling that it seems like people are more willing to help now, to give information, to talk about a crime that happened and those kind of things, because it sounds like in the news that people are coming forward more and helping officers, and people are actually helping in stopping a crime and helping officers and those kind of things. Again, you haven't been on the force for long, but are you seeing a change from communities overall? Because it kind of I almost get a feeling where people are building up to that crescendo where they're finally, I hope we get to that point in society where we say enough is enough, and
Right.
we all have to be policemen. We all
Mhm.
have to be police women. We all have to police what's going on. We all have to protect each other. So I'm wondering, are you seeing more from the community? Because I think that's what's really missing for you guys.
As far as, like you said, I haven't been on the job for very long. My impression of what it used to be versus what my experience and the reality of it, what it is now, I would agree with you. I think that people do feel more empowered and feel more of a sense of responsibility and obligation to step in, to report things, to come forward with the information that they might have. Everyone's videoing everything now,
Yeah.
so they catch a lot. And I I feel like, yes, I still deal with people, of course, that are like, "Man, I'm not talking to you." I'm like, okay,
Right.
but a lot of people that will just come to me, or come to any of us and say like, "Hey, I saw this happen," or "Hey, I have information." And I think you're always gonna have both sides, but I do feel like we have a lot of people in our community that do want to help, and they want to see crime go down. They want to see the bad guys be caught, and they want to be a part of it. They want to, I feel like, help make a difference.
Yeah, I almost find that people are trying to create more things in their home to kind of stay away from going outside, and that's sad, man. That's just terrible that we have to be so nervous about going out on the streets because of everything going on out there, and I think part of it is it falls on us.
Mhm.
We've got to do a better job of actually, helping the police and the authorities. And when we see something, we have to be the difference maker in all of this. So I was just wondering if you've seen a difference there. And I'm glad that more people are helping out, because I think we've got to do, our part there. When you talk about, walk us through a normal schedule week for officers. Is it like a 4-day, 3-day off thing? And how many hours do you guys work a day nowadays? How is it now? What's changed, if anything's changed? And by the way, are they giving you uniforms so you can handle 100-degree heat here? Because damn, God, stay in the
Uh,
car.
yeah, do it. You just, you know, but yeah, we work 4 days, 10 days on, or 10 hours at a time. And you have you might work overtime before, after, might work details on our off days. But, our day starts with briefing. We kind of, talk about what's been going on, if there's anything we need to be aware of within our area. And then we pretty much start answering calls for service. And Fort Lauderdale is a really busy area. I work during the days. So, um, I personally am not as proactive as the officers on midnight are, because we just have so many calls for service. You know, there's a lot more going on between noon and 10 p.m. than 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. So it's a variety. I mean, anything and everything, you know, burglaries, robberies, car accidents, animal abuse calls, child abuse calls, battery, assault. Like, it's just every day it's so different, which to me is kind of what I love about it. You just know no 2 days are alike, and you're dealing with people of every walks of life, and there's, you know, just a lot of challenges, problem solving. You get to problem solve a lot, and I love that aspect of it, because it's constantly challenging you to learn more. You have to have an open mind, and yeah, she's dealing with people, which is, I think, so much fun.
Yeah, well, it depends, I guess, sometimes. Officer April Lowe joining us here from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. By the way, FLPDjobs.com. They are hiring, certified or uncertified. Please check it out. Go to FLPDjobs.com if you want to find out. If you're living in another town, another state, and you're watching us in New York or Chicago or California, and you're thinking of moving down south to South Florida here, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, you may want to reach out, FLPDjobs.com, so you can come work and service here our community and help take care here of South Florida. All right. So far, what's been the situation that's gotten you I would say most nervous?
It hasn't happened yet. I thought I would be nervous, but when you're surrounded by people that you respect and that are such hard workers and so knowledgeable, like, not, I don't feel invincible, but I definitely trust who I'm working with, and I'm surrounded by really good officers. So I don't handle calls on my own, so I don't really feel nervous. I think sometimes maybe what makes me feel nervous is just handling a call that's new to me, and just thinking about the policy and what the Florida statutes say, and just making sure I'm handling everything, you know, accordingly. But as far as like in that moment, it's more just adrenaline that you feel.
So your job, and I'm glad you said that last word there, adrenaline, because your job is all adrenaline. Your job is all pressure. Your job is all knowing and all seeing, because you have to have the awareness that none of us ever have,
Mhm.
right? It's just at a different level. So for 10 hours, it's probably 10 intense hours. And then you're talking about 40 intense hours. And then you're talking about week after week. So I'm wondering, what is therapy? What is cathartic? What is relaxing? What do you do to get away, unwind, that isn't CrossFit? Just in case. Because I know that that's kind of therapy for you, because I know people that work out, they kind of use that and release the endorphins and all those other things, and kind of, you know, you kind of release tension and all that other stuff. So I know you're a CrossFit goddess. Okay, so outside of CrossFit, what is the therapeutic thing that Officer Lowe likes to do after work?
Gosh, so many things. I like to just be at home with my dogs. I like to work with dogs. I love to garden. I like to get outside. I raise butterflies. I like to read. I like to hang out with my family. Like, I have way too many things that I like to do that completely like stress me and just make me, you know, so relaxed.
We have 5 dogs at home, so I know exactly what you're talking about. They are the most therapeutic thing that there is in the world, because that unconditional love
Yeah,
makes you feel so good every single day. So I know what you're talking about.
yeah, exactly what it is. I volunteer a lot in animal rescue. So if you're surrounded by animals, I mean, it's just the most heartwarming and uplifting time. And I feel like that every day when I'm at home. So I'm really fortunate. I have a great support system, a lot of good friends, great family.
That is great stuff. By the way, all 5 adopted, Officer Lowe.
Very good.
Just so you know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big advocate of adopting dogs or cats. There's a lot of them that need a loving home out there, and a lot of great animals in shelters. And there's nothing more grateful than when you take that animal from the shelter and they are going to be just they're unconditional, man. There's nothing like that. It is just absolutely something special. Officer Lowe, what would you like to tell our listeners out there about society, life, how things are going? What would you like to see from everybody?
I mean, it's so easy to just get bogged down in all the bad stuff, but there's so much good stuff that goes around too. And I'm fortunate that I work with a lot of really great people that want to make things better. We want to do better in the world and in our city. And I just, for me personally, I have to focus on the good things. I'm aware of the bad things,
Yep.
but I put more of my emphasis and time into the good stuff and into figuring out what I can do, like what I actually have control and power over to do to make things better. And for me, that makes me feel more empowered. It helps me take more action. And as a result, I feel motivated and encouraged. So it keeps me ahead of that feeling of defeatedness. So I think
I
that's
agree.
this doing what you can, because we can all do something and it all makes a difference, right? It adds up.
Yeah, and I believe there's more of us than of them. So I believe there's more good than bad, and eventually we will overcome. Officer Lowe, thank you for taking some time. Appreciate you. Appreciate your service to our community, and wish you the best out there. And stay strong.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You got it. There you go. Officer Lowe from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, FLPDjobs.com. So if you're watching, you can work with Officer Lowe and the great staff there at the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. There you go. Check it out. Certified or uncertified, call. Get that application in. All right.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.